For this video, I want to talk about pushing and pulling and self-defense, okay? So, pushes and pulls happen a lot in martial arts, but they never should be used in self-defense. And the reason being, firstly, it's a very, very violent exchange, and therefore any time you get the opportunity to strike, you must strike. And that's even if you're on the receiving end of a grab or a hold or anything else, because you need that energy in order to break free or in order to do some damage so your opponent isn't going to gain control of the situation. I'm just going to explain what I mean by this. So if I grab hold of an arm here and she wants to just release that grab, if she tries to pull her arm away, because I'm a lot bigger and a lot stronger, she probably doesn't have the right energy or the right strength to be able to do it. It's going to be basically a face-off between my grip strength and whatever strength that she can generate. So from this position here, this is what I'm going to use to anchor myself and what I'm going to use to control the situation, okay? In her defense, she needs to be able to get rid of this pretty quick. And I know we talked about circling and driving through before, but you might be in a position that when it's all kind of chaos, that you're not quite sure which way to go, and also they might move with you. So if we try the half circle and the break through, if at a very basic level, I might follow her, and if I know something, then she's going to be struggling to break that grip off. So the only direction she can move in that I can't control is backwards. If she strikes backwards with that pull, instead of pulling the arm back from the shoulder, she's going to strike backwards almost like a reverse elbow. And this is going to give her a much better energy to break that grip or that hold. Okay? So if I'm holding on and I'm holding on pretty tight, if she tries to pull, then she's going to find it hard because I can go with her and I can control that position. But if she drives it back with acceleration, then no matter how much I try and hold, that's going to eventually break or at least loosen the grip. Obviously, the fights are not this static. They're not going to happen in this position, okay? The self-defense is going to be chaos. You're not going to know what's going on. But you're definitely going to understand subconsciously if somebody's gripped hold and where you can go. So from this position here, from the pulling aspect of self-defense, we want to make sure we reverse strike, okay? This is not a fight. This is not a fight that goes on and you get to control and manipulate. This is very reactionary. This is something that happens in less than 10 seconds, and it's about the amount of opportunity that you need to get away. So you're not going to stick around and fight, because if you stick around and fight, then it turns into a fight. We're on about self-defense. This is where you have no option. You don't want to be there. You don't want to stick around. So you're going to need to be able to break those controlling aspects as quick as possible. Obviously, if she was to use a second hand here, she could strike my arm off at the same time as doing the reverse strike. Okay, so obviously if she had two hands against my one, then she could reverse strike with the elbow and strike my arm off at the same time. You need to understand the difference between a pull, which happens to bring me closer, which is going to kind of benefit me, or a reverse strike where she strikes backwards, and that's a lot harder to hold on to. So moving on to pushes, okay? A lot of self-defense arts, they do use pushes, and they try to deter the opponents by pushing them away. If you push somebody away, it's just going to piss them off. If you're close enough to make contact, you're close enough to strike, you're close enough to put somebody down. Okay? And that's the mentality. It's not about peace, love, and everything else. If somebody's attacking you, you put them out. There's no two ways about it. If you hesitate, it's going to be you. So please don't let it be you. Right, so the same thing is going to apply. If I come in close enough and she can make that bridge and she can put her hand up to brace, okay? If I'm holding on here, it's kind of different because it's a controlling aspect. But if I'm coming in and I might be striking, or I might go for the throat, or I might do something else, for the sake of the drill, I'm just going to go for the shoulder so it's nice and safe so you get a chance to practice. And obviously self-defense should be taught towards people who don't know training, who don't know martial arts, because they're the ones that are going to need it the most. When you're going to go in, As soon as you've established that range or you're close enough, people nowadays will just hit before they start asking questions. So this is the mindset that you must carry on. Okay? If I come in and I'm this close, if Shu's natural response is to put her hands up and keep me away, that's not going to last very long. Okay? If she can reach me, like my head or my torso or any part of my body, she must strike it. It should be your go-to, and it's the only deterrent that people will understand. In these situations, these people are genuinely trying to do you harm, and you must understand that. So you must be on the same kind of wavelength as them. If they're close enough to push, they're close enough to strike. It can be with two hands, it could be with one hand, it doesn't make any difference, okay? So the idea is, if I go to push, or if Shu goes to push me, if I come in close and she pushes me away, I'm just going to come back. It doesn't matter, okay? It's not going to do anything. Anybody who teaches you applications where you push and pull is just nonsense. You don't push and pull. That's the kind of thing that you do if your mate's drunk and you're trying to get him to go home and he's kind of being a bit resistant. If it's somebody who's trying to smash your face in and you push them away, they'll just smash your face in 2 seconds later and you've done nothing. Okay, apart from maybe make them more angry. So if I come in this close, what she's going to do is she's literally going to strike my chest. Okay, so it's nice and safe. You do have points on the chest, like the start of the lung meridians and stuff, but again, if you use palms, it's perfectly alright. So as I come in close, if she can physically reach me, she is going to strike me. She's not going to push, she's not going to brace. Okay, if it comes out of the blue and she gets attacked and she doesn't understand what's going on, then that might be a natural reaction. There's nothing you can do about that. But you do get to choose what you do on the second, third, fourth, fifth action after that. Okay? So as I come in, as soon as I come in close, okay, the hands come out and she's got to strike. See, it wasn't a great deal of power that she gave me that time, but I definitely felt the difference. If I enter the same way and I come in close and she tries to push me away, that gives me the opportunity to reattach to her, so I get to grab or I get to do something. So if I come in and it's not a violent response, I can just grab her because she's trying to push me away, so I'm going to hold and I'm going to stay in. Striking is your only way out of self-defense. The same thing happens if you move to things like locks and chokes. These are kind of things that you use to control people in an environment where you don't want them to get overly hurt, okay? In a self-defense situation where you could get hurt or even killed, don't even mess around with locks and chokes. But if you can get to the back of somebody or the side of somebody and you can lock them, then you can definitely strike them. And if you can choke them, then you can strike them in the back of the head or the back of the neck. And that's going to work a lot better and it will work a lot quicker.